Welcome, everybody, to episode 293 of The Real China Show.
You know what country code 293 is? Because we always shout out the countries.
No idea.
Take a wild guess.
Spain.
It's none.
Oh.
It's none.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how many numbers don't have any country assigned to them.
Okay.
And then when they have a area code assigned to them, we shout out that place in the U.S.
Sounds
doesn't
good.
have one either.
Let's assign it to one. How about Pluto, the planet?
Pluto. Oh, we're getting dicey here.
I think let's shout it
Pluto's
out.
not a planet.
It is, because when I grew up, it was a planet, so
but
that means
things
it's
change.
still a planet. No,
Things change.
Pluto will always be a planet to me.
Think about it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it like this. I'll give
Like
you an
what?
analogy.
Okay, all right.
This is green.
Sure.
Okay.
It's not really. It's
Exactly.
a snowy street.
Exactly. My interpretation is that this is green, and your interpretation
That's
is that
the worst analogy I've ever heard in my life. Pluto is a planet, and that's how I grew up, and that's how it stays.
Well, I think that's just being stubborn. Because
No,
it's just a moon.
it's my reality, and I can control my reality in any way I want.
It's my truth.
Yes, this is my truth.
Yes. You know what
Yes.
I say to that?
What?
Hong, hong,
Yeah, exactly.
hong.
Yes, I withdraw that truth.
I withdraw that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I withdraw.
Honorable
You
Matisa.
know what's funny about today's episode?
Yeah, what's funny about today's episode?
I don't know if it's funny.
Team Pluto, the planet, by the way. Team Pluto for planet. It's not a freaking rock body, whatever they want to call it now.
It's a freaking rock
An
body.
astral moon body derivative.
No, it is the rock's body because he's all skinny now.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Can we get on to it? So you know what's funny about today is when we're putting together
Yep.
the media pack, as we do all week, right?
Sure.
Our news comes in, our videos come in, everything comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, you know what? This is a pretty good episode. By the end, we're looking at it, we're like, this is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to cover.
And we think it coincides, the sheer amount of factories, explosions, all that kind of stuff is utterly mind-blowing.
Yeah, we had to cut a lot of things out.
Yeah, and it's I think we were talking about this. We probably think it coincides with this big economic downturn that's happening because you might have been hearing two key words in the news from China, from mainstream news outlets, and that is trade surplus. So we're going to be talking about that.
Yeah, this trade surplus is not a good thing for China. I'll tell you that much.
It's funny because everyone seems to think
Oh, yeah, for sure. Anyway, let's saunter right into it with what's new. And this is where we talk about everything that's new, specifically with regards to China. And an internet rumor said there were silver coins buried in Jiaxing, Zhejiang, China. So what happened?
people just rushed out and just massacred the land.
Yeah. So all the local villagers and people from nearby areas all went there and just started digging up en masse.
Very funny.
Yeah.
I just like because they turned the whole area into the moon.
Yeah, exactly. What are we looking at? Okay, I'm going to pause that there for a second. For those of you who don't know, it's very popular in the parks in the cities. It's called the China Sports Lottery because they do have a lottery, just like you have your scratch and sniff, whatever you do over
It's
here.
not scratch and sniff.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
Scratch and win.
I don't know. Every time I see the kind of people I see buying those scratch tickets, they like, you know what I mean?
So
It looks like they could use a bottle of wine instead.
yes.
Anyway,
So here in where I'm from in New York,
Yeah.
right? The scratch offs actually go to the lottery revenue goes to like good social programs, which is kind of good.
That's nice.
But they call it a poor tax, and mostly poor people buy them.
yeah, no, it's I'm pretty much against lotteries, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I'm honest,
Sure.
I think you're selling a fake fantasy to people and
Fair enough.
fleecing them of their money. Anyway, the same thing happens in China, exactly the same.
Yeah.
And they build these little exercise areas for old people.
Yeah, but they like don't do anything.
Yeah, it's weird.
There's
They
no
basically put
resistance.
some, as you can see there, they put some poles and with some swinging things on them. So you'll see the old people just messing around, and it's funny to see. Like you see the guy in the background just spinning around, and this guy's just doing his thing. It's kind of funny. I guess it keeps the joints loose, and I think that's really what it's about.
Yes. I did put a poll up. If you're watching live, you'll be able to vote. I don't even mention it.
Okay. Pluto's a planet. Yeah. Of course, it's a planet.
No, I put it up.
Yeah, I know.
You can't say of course. You have
I
to.
can.
You have to respect our audience. You're
I
getting a little
respect
authoritarian over
I can
here.
respect our audience's
Sure.
opinion, even if it's wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
And NASA and everyone else, right?
For
And the
sure.
world
NASA's the one who said it
centered
was a planet in the first place, so you know they can go F off if they change their mind. You
Can we
don't
get-
suddenly call a hamburger a sandwich.
You can.
Yeah, but that's wrong.
You're right.
Okay.
China's
Yeah.
failing bid to reverse population decline. This is something we've been deeply invested in for a while.
Yes.
We've been covering this for years now
Mhm.
because China went from the one-child policy, where they tried to reverse the population boom.
Yes.
Now they're one of the least birthing countries in the entire world, and one of the lowest population growths.
Yes.
Even though they've reversed the policy,
Too late.
actively promoting, in fact, coercing and pushing people to have children.
Yeah.
Right? So what's interesting is that there's the newest evidence of this
Yeah.
is just what people are seeing with their eyes.
Yeah. This clip surfaced probably yesterday or the day before. And it shows the Zhongshui, which is the high school.
Yeah.
Okay. Over
Or
there.
middle
Or middle
school,
school, sorry. But yeah. Dashui is your
University.
is the university. Anyway, so there's the middle school over there. All right. You see the amount of kids running around doing their exercises. Okay. There's the primary school over there.
Elementary school, and then
And there's kindergarten. So you can see that's kind of a visual representation of the birth rate.
Mm.
So you don't see a lot of very young kids in this shot. You know,
No.
when I was in China in the beginning, I was also hearing about the declining birth rate, but I was calling BS because, I'd see kids everywhere all the time. And it was just a thing but I realized why. At the time that there was this low birth rate news coming out, the year of the golden pig came around. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, apparently, the year of the golden pig is like the most lucky year for wealth and that type of thing. So parents were on purpose having children and even inducing births to make sure they were born. Even if they were still due for a while, they would induce the birth to make sure their kid was a golden pig, baby.
Try some dough.
Yeah, exactly. So in the particular, I lived in a kind of a fairly upper middle class apartment building, and I'd go downstairs and there'd be tons of like new mothers with
Golden
their kids.
pigs.
Yeah, the golden pigs, all at the same time. So to me, I thought, what's everyone talking about? I see kids everywhere.
Right.
But obviously it was kind of just an anecdotal situation I was in. But yeah, the birth rate's terrible in China because having a kid is so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible. So yeah, there's your evidence. Very good to see it visually like that.
Very anecdotal, obviously, but it does give something to it.
Oh yeah, I mean you've got like maybe 20 kids in the kindergarten, and you've got like 100 odd kids, and then a couple hundred kids in the middle school. Yeah.
China's known for its recycling. It's a really good recycling program.
Ah
So
yes.
these side dishes basically you'll get your noodles or whatever you're eating.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they'll put out side dishes, and
Yeah,
there'll
and
be
you
communal side
eat,
dishes.
you
yeah.
eat with your chopsticks. Everybody's grabbing, putting your slobber on there. That's how you do it,
Yeah.
right? Because your chopsticks go in your mouth, takes a bunch of saliva, carries it to the bowl. When you pick up your next thing, it all slobs in there.
So this will be like salted cabbage and maybe some carrots or something. But
I think you'll find that it's not only salted cabbage; it's salted cabbage and saliva.
oh yes,
Yeah.
But you'll see the important part of this clip is what happens. He's done. Time to put it back.
Yeah, because that'll be served to the next table.
Correct.
Waste not, want not. Yeah, I mean,
The cold dishes will go straight back into the bins, and we're good.
yeah. This is a hilarious clip that's been going around. Someone's pet parakeet seems to have escaped.
That's not a parakeet. That's a cockatoo.
Cockatoo parakeet, sorry. What's the difference? The yellow thing on the head?
Not even close. A parakeet's this big. They're green
yeah.
and blue.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Isn't that a budgie?
Yeah, a parakeet. That's what a budgie is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought a budgie was a budgie.
No, a budgeriri parakeet.
Okay, is that what it is? Okay.
Ask
All right.
me how I know.
Yeah. I knew a guy had one of
You didn't
these.
ask me how I know.
Yeah, I didn't ask you.
'Cause I
Because you're a
had
budgie smuggler?
I had one.
Okay, all right. You wear budgie smugglers?
No.
All right. Yeah,
This is a cockatoo, a very intelligent bird.
yeah. A friend of mine's dad had one of these. He used to sit on his arm and talk and stuff.
Yep.
And a very famous ad campaign in South Africa for like a bank or something used one of these, which is lame. I used to see it on TV all day. I'm not very impressed by these birds
Why? They're
because I think of a
super
stupid bank.
Oh, they're so smart. People, they're one of the higher rates of like animals that get sent back because people don't realize they live for decades and they're intelligent and they're incredibly annoying when they don't get their way.
Oh, they're very cool. I'm just
Yeah.
not very impressed by them because I saw them all
Because
the
of the
time.
bank.
Yeah.
Let's play What Will Happen. We haven't
Okay.
done this in a while. This is a game where you guys decide what will happen in a poll. So I'm going to be actively on the poll, right? You got to be a good disc jockey here.
Yes.
And you guys are going to guess with multiple choice what is going to happen in each clip. We haven't done this in a while.
First, let's find out about Pluto.
Should I? Yeah, I gotta kill that poll. About 1,000 votes came in about the Pluto vote, and they voted 70% of people said yes, Pluto is a planet. 30% of people say no.
Because 70% of our audience knows what's up.
You know what? I'm not stubborn like you, and I will admit that our audience's opinion is more important to me than anything else.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to be stubborn when you're right. When you're right, it's good to be stubborn.
Okay,
good job, guys.
What we're gonna do? Good job picking the thing that I believe in.
Good job, Pluto, Team Pluto. I always like Pluto as a planet, man. You know, you don't get to take that away from us. You know, we grow up with so many planets in the solar system, and then they're like, nah, screw that. That's not okay.
Okay, I put up the poll. Let's have a look.
Yeah,
what
all right.
Happen?
So you've got this guy, and he's carrying, by the way, very impressive.
Yes.
How he managed to, first of all, stack those, and second of all, actually lift up that thing.
Well, let's watch it, because I freeze-framed everything.
Okay.
You don't even...
Oh, you did? Yeah. Okay, so he's going down the stairs with this massive amount of dirty dishes. Okay, what will happen? So am I supposed to pause it here?
Okay. Pause it here.
All right.
A, successfully deliver the dishes. B, a near miss, but saves the dishes. C, dishes completely crash. D, nothing at all happens. At all. That needs to sound, but
it does. We really need to make.
Why have we not done that?
I don't know.
That's weird.
That's one of my most said things.
Should I put it in our notes?
Yes, put it in the notes so that it can't get done later.
Talk about stubborn.
Yeah, it will be done, dude. It's just too good.
Typing into
the bruised plum. Anyway.
Okay, so now people can finally see it. Remember, there's a delay. So
yes.
To give everyone a chance. And I'll let it go up to, let's say, 700 votes.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right, so let's see what will happen here. You got A, B, C, or D, and we're already here at our threshold pretty much.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is pull the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and end poll. So let me read the results.
Sure.
The winner of the results is C, 37%, and B, they tied.
Oh.
So C and B are dishes completely crash and a near miss but saves the dishes.
Let's find out.
Interesting.
Let's find out. Okay, I pressed play. So
okay, you're good. Yeah. This is you won't be able to screw this up. I did it really well.
Okay. Occam's razor.
Occam's plate. Occam's shard.
Yeah. He's very disappointed.
Oh, just let's look at it for a second.
Poor guy. I feel bad.
It sucks. I feel bad for a couple of reasons. If this happened in the U.S., there'd be some words.
Breakage fee and
no, in the U.S. Probably not.
There is breakage fees built into every restaurant.
Yeah. I thought you meant he was going to be charged.
No. It's a breakage fee. It's it's built in.
Yeah. So this worker, he'd be fine. You'd be like, be more careful next time. Don't be a douche. Just start showing off with how much you can carry. In China, he's screwed.
Yeah.
He's screwed. Poor guy.
Either way, I must say it was impressive that he could carry that many in the first place. I feel like next time he won't, though.
For sure. Occam's shard is correct.
Sockless shoes. Anyway, okay, now, is this another what will happen?
This is another what will happen. We have 3 or 4 of them.
I'll get us out of here so you guys can see. Okay. Let's set the scene for you. This is it's a few days ago. Quite typical of just outside the cities of China. Is you've got a pigsty over there, which is going to be full of livestock of some kind, probably pigs
and dead stock sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dead stock. Definitely a lot of dead stock. Okay, you've got this little man-made pond. You've got I guess up there's like a grandma who's busy tending the water, doing something there. And then behind us here, you've got a scooter with, I don't know, 2-3 people on it, as you normally do in rural China.
That's right.
And they're cruising around. Okay, so this is a very nice scene, a very picturesque scene. Oh, there's a dog over there too. So,
what will happen? I'm glad you pointed everything out, because if you didn't, then you might not know where to look, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you every element of this could be important, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a Where's Waldo situation.
Yeah, I mean, you got power lines.
Yep. So A, dog gets hit. So did you see that dog running out?
Yeah.
B, man catches huge fish.
It's a man? I thought it was an old woman.
Okay. Woman, man.
Yeah, the human being. In the pond. Human catches huge fish.
C, scooter crashes into pond. Or D, Nothing at all happens. I think D is going to be a thing.
Have you
I
got
did, yeah.
got it up?
I
Okay.
just people had to have a chance to watch the clip.
For sure.
Some silly people were voting before they saw the clip.
Okay.
But most people are not.
Yeah,
most
yeah,
people
exactly.
are waiting. Let's let that populate to 700. You guys are really fast today. I like that. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good.
great. It's the best way for us to do this so we can move on.
What does that mean?
To the next one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Next, you ready?
Yeah.
So the winner, very clear winner is C,
Oh.
70%. Second place is B with only 13%.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay, let's take
C
a look
is
then.
Clear.
Let's.
clear.
I'm
Scooter
gonna play
crashes
it
into
with
pond.
us out of here so everybody can see what's happening. And C was right, but you know what?
Yes.
Not only did they crash into the pond, they also crashed into the human being that was
Correct.
standing there.
Who didn't catch a fish, though?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe they could catch themselves in there. Oh, that's so frustrating. We've all been there,
We've
right?
all been there trying to pick up the boiled egg with the chopsticks.
Yeah. So what
So
will
what
happen?
will happen? Let's have a look. Let me put this up here. A. So what's A?
Smashes the egg with shoe and eats it.
Okay. What's B?
Chair breaks and man falls.
Okay. C.
Car crashes into restaurant.
Try to be quiet here.
Mhm.
And D.
Nothing at all happens.
Okay. It's got to happen. One of these got to be a D, right?
Yeah.
One of these got to be a D at some point.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Have you seen this?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so don't chime in then.
No, I'm not going to chime in.
But I can say while we wait for this to populate, this is such a common thing.
Yeah, there are a couple of objects that are very difficult to pick up with chopsticks, even if you've been using chopsticks your
Yeah.
whole life. You know,
Yeah.
they're just too slippery and they
Yeah.
slip around, you know. And boiled egg, especially these tea eggs, that's one of them.
Mm.
You know, a little bit slimy. I like these, by the way.
I love tea
Yeah,
eggs.
they're great.
I
I
love
used to eat
tea
them all the
eggs.
time. I
too.
get my wife to make them now.
Do you?
Yeah,
What kind of tea do you use?
I don't know. She does it. I don't get involved. If you ask an artist to paint a picture for you, you're like, what paint did you use?
And they'll say-
what brand of easel was that?
And they'll know.
Like, oh, you know the canvas? Like, what was it woven
I like
out of?
how you're the artist in this scenario. You just eat. What skill is that? Your wife's the
No,
artist.
I'm saying
She will
yes,
know.
yes, she will know, but I won't. That my
Why
example
are you
is
the artist?
no, I'm not. I'm saying you don't ask an artist what paint they use if you ask them to
course
paint a
you can.
picture,
Of
but you
course.
don't though. So if I say, please make me a chaya done, I'm not like exactly how many grams of what specific
Did
type
I
of tea
ask
did
that
you use.
question? I said, what kind of tea did she
And
use?
that is my
and it's
answer.
the main ingredient other
I
than the
obviously
egg.
don't know because as long as it tastes correct, I don't care.
Okay.
What brand ketchup did you use on your fries?
Okay.
What?
You are right a lot of times, but in this scenario, you sound very silly because that is such a reasonable question to ask when you brought it up.
It's only if you care about tea.
I don't even. I just was curious.
It's
Do you
certainly
use
not Earl
Chinese
Grey,
tea?
though.
Yeah, do you use British tea?
Obviously,
I just didn't
it's
know.
a Chinese thing. She, boils it in a pot with
Gotcha.
it's that brown stuff with the bits of other things in it.
Okay, so some.
It's
Chinese
got like
red tea.
aniseed or something in there too.
Oh,
you know?
interesting. So there's other stuff.
Yeah, there's other bits of floating
See,
things.
that's some useful information
Yeah.
because I didn't know how they made them.
No, I mean I know what it looks like. I just don't know what the actual ingredient was.
All right, let's read the results.
Sure.
37% of people say C, which is what?
The car crashes into a restaurant.
Car crashes into restaurant.
So that's the winner. Let's take a look. All right.
Yes.
Okay, I'm curious to
I
see.
would honestly, if I hadn't
reaction.
seen this, I would guess that too.
Yeah. I mean,
hey,
yeah. I mean, I kind of get it, if you're that frustrated and you just want to eat your egg.
yes.
Okay. Now, guys, this is a classic clip. It's a little old, but you know what? It's a good one. So this is 2015, and
Yeah,
it says,
but it's a classic.
中国梦, the Chinese dream. Yeah. Okay. What a wonderful military choir. So what's going to happen? Okay. Lead singer, A. Lead singer screws up song. B. Stage collapses. C. People fall like dominoes. D. Nothing at all happens.
It would be a real gut punch if nothing happened in this.
I
Clip.
think it would be the boringest clip in the world.
I know it'd be funny that we said this is a classic and we brought it back and nothing happens.
Exactly. I feel like many people may have seen this.
If they have, they have. If they haven't, they haven't.
Yeah, if you haven't, it's a treat.
It's a treat.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I vaguely remember seeing it.
No, I remember very
Do you?
clearly. yeah.
Okay. I think I've just seen so many things like this.
Oh, right.
Especially in China.
Sure.
But yeah. Oh, wow. Quick vote here. With B as 69. Nice. B,
Okay.
stage collapses.
Well, let's see.
Second place was C.
Oh.
People fall like dominoes.
Okay, let's have a quick look.
Chinese dream.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Crazy. All right.
Okay, here's another one. You got
That's the
an
last
IE. This is our last clip. Walking down the street, just looking around suspiciously.
This is kind of like those FMV games.
Oh,
like
yes.
From the mid-90s on CD-ROM.
I love those. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're great. So anyway, this IE, that's a very typical IE. So middle-aged auntie. She has the puff hair. She has the floral jacket thing.
She's got the uniform on.
It's pretty much what they all look like at a certain age. It's one of
Yes.
these things. Aunties all look the same at a certain age.
Doesn't even matter.
It's so strange. Like
It
you can
is.
just identify them from a mile away.
Yes.
So A, she kicks over the pot. B, door opens and knocks her down. C, dog runs up and bites her. And D, nothing at all happens.
Yeah. All right. So look at that freeze frame. You can analyze this yourself.
I would have
See.
thought like you should have added an F. She steals the plant because that happens a lot.
A lot of people in the chat were saying that.
She's looking around sus. It looks like she's gonna steal it.
Unfortunately, I didn't put that in there because she doesn't do that. So it didn't, but it should have been fresh in my mind.
yeah,
Because we've
yeah.
shown that very scenario.
We've shown the exact
All right. So here we go. The winner, clear winner, was at 53% was A. She kicks over the pot. B was at 31. Door opens and knocks her down.
Okay, let's take a look. What would compel you to do that? What would be the actual reason?
I don't know.
It's insane.
It is insane.
Oh, you're like, oh, look, nature is thriving. I must put an end to it. It's,
Yeah.
maybe she's jealous. It could be like her neighbor or something.
Yes.
Having a dispute.
Ah, crap. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe it.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. What a surprise.
Mhm.
Oh, boy. You got to turn up that Like Farmer song. Everyone's saying they can't hear it.
It's kind of on
Just a little bit.
by design, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. What is the volume even at?
It said half.
Okay, well, we paid a lot of money to get this made.
Fine, I'll go up a little more.
You're at -6, like 17 decibels. That's violently low.
I don't know. People could definitely hear that, bro.
Well,
It's probably drowning them out.
you know what? That's a great poll.
You're Pullman today.
I am a Pole. I'm a Polish person.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's another way of looking at it. Yeah, so.
All right. Well, what I'm doing here is I'm your neighborhood like farmer. And I'll tell you what, you got to seed the feed. And when you click that thumbs up button, and what it does is it seeds the feed. It tells YouTube, it says, don't suppress this video. Get out there and put it on people's feeds, because about 50% of you said you don't get a notification for this show. And that's no good. That's no good. So please click that thumbs up button. Today's goal, we're just going to try to hit 4,000 likes today. I'm going to up it a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yes.
4,000? That's
Yes.
a lot.
And if you could, because this is also free, it's free to click the like button. Why don't you just go in the comments and tell us something you like? It doesn't even have to be about us. Tell us something you like. Just leave a comment that says, I like whatever, right? You can say anything, and that'll help get engagement as well.
Okay.
So if you could do that, we really appreciate that, and we'll see you at 4,000 likes.
Thank you. Let us continue.
Yes.
Okay, so here's a big thing, guys. I'd like everybody to pay attention to this. We've covered this before on the show, but there was a massive propaganda push recently from the Chinese shills and Chinese propagandists on Twitter and so on X, to try and pretend like China is a high trust society. And something that they used as an example a lot is they would use these kind of package collection places. Can you see like this? Because when you walk outside of a community, directly outside, by the way, I need to point out something to you. That is the gate that leads into the gated community. So when you drive in, you have to, what?
I said leave a comment of something you like, and there's like 5,000 chats right now. Like, I like owls.
Well, Well, that's awesome.
It's great, but
I'm glad.
Leave in the comments section as well.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
just chat.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't not interrupt it. It's just
Anyway, that's great. Yeah, what do you like?
like
Yeah.
Dobermans.
So that is the gated community. You drive in there. There's a security booth right behind the gate. Can you see it there? That's where the security guard sits.
Yeah.
This is usually how it is. So these guys walking on the streets, they're like, oh, look, it's so trusting. People leave their packages out. Number one, there's always a security guard watching it. Number two, very obviously it's surveilled because we're watching it through a surveillance camera.
Yeah.
China is the most surveilled country in the world. There are cameras everywhere. So there's cameras pointed on that. But even then, it doesn't stop people from just stealing. Okay, and here's an interesting story in Beijing. The woman on the bicycle that you see there was recently caught, and she had been living off of stealing packages for I don't know how long, months, maybe a year, maybe more. But what happened was she would go not only get her 3 meals a day by just stealing people's takeout that's left there, but just taking packages. As you can see, her bike is already loaded up with packages.
Yeah.
And then what she'd do is she'd go pack them up in her apartment and then ship them back to her hometown or whatever the case.
Let's just play it. There's no audio.
Yeah, I wanted to just set this up first so we can watch her. And here's another thing I wanted to point out. If you are a foreign shill who can't speak Chinese and you're just fresh off the boat in China, and you walk past this scene and you see a Chinese woman, as you can see her, walking up. This is her, right? Just walking up, and you can see her in black and white there. I don't know why you put these two clips together. It's a bit confusing. We'll have to rewind and go to the other clip. See her in black and white. Oh, wait, did you not include all of them? Because there were quite a few.
No, that's the one I got sent.
Okay, anyway, you can see her. There she is with her bike. Say you're a foreign shill who can't speak Chinese. You've been in China for maybe a month or something, and you're making vlog videos, and you walk past. Like, look, it's so trusting. People can just come and collect their packages. And you see this woman walk and go and collect a package. You think that's the rightful owner picking up the package because you're dumb and you don't know any better.
Yeah, why would you know that the people picking it up, it's theirs?
Yeah, you don't.
If you're one of those shills.
You probably find in some shill videos where they're saying, look at these people collecting their packages. They're actually filming thieves taking packages.
Yes.
China's not a high trust society, not by a long shot. And that's why not only is this all surveilled, and of course every package is scanned and has exactly who it belongs to, and it has all the QR codes and everything on it. And, it gets dropped off at these community places because it's too overwhelming. The delivery guys can't waste time. And for security reasons, a lot of the times they don't let the delivery guys go into the buildings because they might steal things or whatever. And so it's outside of a security gate with security cameras, and still this woman was able to survive for months, who knows how long, just stealing packages every single day.
There was a lot of support for her as well, because they were like, how has China's situation gotten so bad that people need to do this?
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of that. Now, what you can see in the other footage over here are aunties stealing raw meat. Okay, they see the woman in black over there. There she's grabbing it. And then she's like, I'm out of here, and just pieces out with the meat. But yeah, here's another example. Clothing shops in China, very often in the sort of urban sprawl, you'll see they put out like a rack like this, of course, just so people can see what they have, browse, and then you pick it up and pay for it, right? Here's just an example of just the other day again, a woman browsing.
No, this is in November. But...
Oh, so November. Browsing around. Oh, I like this, and I like that, and I like that, and I like that. And then she walks off with it and doesn't pay. So, it's just to give a bit of pushback against this absurd notion that China is a high trust society where people don't steal.
Yeah.
Because, it's one thing to say, I don't know, that you can trust people in China, because you can in general. They're nice and everything. But you cannot say that things don't get stolen in public, because China is probably the worst offender of any country I've ever been to when it comes to things like pickpockets and theft. And Chinese people themselves will tell you this. It's only the shills trying to pretend like it isn't. And that's because maybe they don't understand what's going on around them. But ask any Chinese person at all if it's safe to leave something out there. And they'll say no, because they all have to worry about theft. If you walk around in the public in China, you'll see if people have backpacks, they wear it on their front.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
There's a reason for that. They're always keeping an eye on their stuff. It's because China has a massive theft problem. Now, this is a very interesting story.
Yeah, play it.
Okay. Somebody found at the Sun Yat-sen what is it like? There's a theme park or something, or
No, it's like a Sun Yat-sen museum.
yeah, museum. Sorry, well, it's the same thing, isn't it? They found underneath the bridge. Can you,
Theme
yeah,
park?
well, it's
What is there, a Sun Yat-sen roller coaster?
oh, well, it's themed after, right?
Yeah.
There's a park, right? There's like grounds.
Yeah.
They found under a bridge these Republic of China, as you can see, kind of plaques. I don't know, what would you call that? Like it's almost like posts that were in a bridge or something, or banners or something. You can see the star at the bottom there. So maybe you can explain who this is, who this represents.
So this is the government before the current one.
Yes.
So this is the ones that fought the communists in the Civil War.
Yeah.
A big part of China's history. They ruled for from 1911 to 1949.
Yeah.
And then they lost the Civil War to the CCP, right?
By the way, these are the real heroes of China. These are the people that were the allies of the United States and Britain and all of these different countries when the World War II was going on.
Yeah.
These are the people that all the aid was shipped to. These are the people that were fighting the Japanese.
Yes.
Not the communists. They were hiding in the hills.
If you're in China now, you're not really allowed to respect them.
Yeah.
Because they were the other side, right? They were the other side of China.
Yeah, and for very, very long story short, they got decimated during World War II fighting the Japanese, and then after the communists came along, and they came out of the hills all refreshed by sitting there drinking tea all day, came down, and there were only a few of them left after being decimated by the Japanese, and then they attacked these ragged troops that were already exhausted and forced them out to Taiwan. So now they rule Taiwan, the descendants. That's kind of the short story. Thing is, people found these and they were posting them online, and it became kind of like this shrine. People went there and they were putting incense down there, basically, giving offerings to them, because there's obviously a lot of respect still for the real true heroes of China. And this made, the local authorities mad. They can see all the, if you're sacrificing your cigarettes, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's like incense.
Yeah, and it's like you're giving respect. Mm-hmm. And of course, the local authorities caught wind of this, and they boarded it out, off with bamboo barriers and stuff.
How dare you respect our recent past?
The funny thing is, they, obviously they were just like, this is not okay. They went and set up all these barriers, and then netizens came there and tore them down and continued to put cigarettes and stuff. And it's this big back and forth at the moment. It's kind of funny.
It's kind of fun. It shows that there's reasonable people that are like, yeah, we respect our Chinese history.
That's the thing. When we criticize China, we're not criticizing the people. There are a lot of good, normal, reasonable people in China and well-meaning people, but the government sucks, and the ultra-nationalists who defend them also suck. Pretty much. Okay, now guys, before we continue, we have a word, and it's a good one, so stick around. Here it comes. It's coming. Word. Let's do it. Man, this title's long. The Christmas holidays are here, and you know what that means. Finding gifts for your loved ones, and even people you maybe don't love so much. Either way, it's always difficult to find something good to give someone, something that's lasting and leaves an impression. But that's where Extra comes in. I don't like giving something to someone unless it's significant, something cool, something useful, something that they'll appreciate. They have incredibly good quality products that I can feel proud to give to my friends and family. Their wallets are second to none. They're high-tech, they've got RFID blockers built in, they're rugged, they're stylish, they're awesome. They have so many different wallets to choose from, you'll be spoiled for choice. On top of that, they're selling these incredibly cool bags for travel, where you can stick all of your clothes, dirty or not, vacuum them up, and they're safe, things won't get lost. They pack really easy, makes your life traveling so much better, and even if you just want to store a few things in your closet out the way, they're fantastic. Extra also has other products like these rechargeable tracker cards, which work on the Apple Find My network, so they work exactly like an Apple AirTag. They work on the same network as an Apple AirTag, except they have the convenience of being in a card form factor and being rechargeable, so you don't have to go out and buy new batteries every time it runs low. Grab one before it's too late. Go to partner.extra.com/China Show and use the code CHINA at checkout for an extra 10% off. So don't forget, you're already getting a Christmas discount if you go to partner.extra.com/China Show, but you'll get a further discount if you use the code CHINA at checkout. And now, back to the show.
Blind.
Blind report. Don't pause it.
I have to pause it because things changed. How is it a blind report all of a sudden?
You gotta let it play through.
Okay.
Blind.
It's the blind report. So bollard report is where we talk about bollards.
Yes,
Those things that stop vehicular manslaughter
Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Well, I mean, at least they mitigate them a little.
Yeah. National push to get these all over the place. But recently, people have been talking about China's efforts to cater to the disabled, because China is probably one of the worst set up, fairly developed countries for disabled people. And a lot of people that are going there are finding that out.
It's
right?
terrible. If you're disabled in any way, if you're in a wheelchair or something, the facilities aren't there for you.
No, it's bad.
You know, if you're in a top tier city and going into like a Sheraton hotel or something, yes, there'll be a ramp.
Yes.
But anywhere else, you're screwed.
For sure. So what happened was, what was interesting, is that when we got to China, we're like, what are these weird pathways? And they have these pathways, and what they are, there's these lines.
Yeah, it's like
And
a
then-
raised tile.
Yeah, and you can use your cane, your blind cane, to figure out where
And
you're
also
going.
your feet when you stand
Yes.
on them. So, yeah, it's
Good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's supposed to be for blind people so they can find their way down the road.
But people have been showing kind of where they lead.
Yeah, the problem is it's one of those implemented because they can. It's like when they put those bins where it's like recycle on this
Yeah,
side and
but they're
normal
not
trash,
separate.
but it's just the same bag
Yeah.
inside. And, you know,
Or
it's
when they
that
put
kind
up
of
the
thing.
fire hydrants that weren't connected to
Yes,
anything.
exactly. It's just like we have to do it. So here you go. Let's paint a fire hydrant on the wall and call it good.
Same with bollards.
Yeah,
Right.
bollards too, yeah.
But here you see this blind path leads straight into the electricity box.
Yeah, from both sides. So
From
it doesn't
both
matter what side you're coming from. If you're blind, you're going right into that electricity box. Yeah.
Shock the sight right into you.
Yeah. I mean, here you're walking into a pole.
Yeah.
As you can see, the yellow one, the yellow stripe down there, that is the raised walkway thing.
And the irony is that there's propaganda about using the stoplights,
Yes, I know. It's pretty funny.
which the blind people cannot see.
This literally goes right into this high voltage setup over here.
Yeah.
So hopefully the blind person doesn't reach this and decides to try climb over it.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they would, but, you know. Yeah, I suppose it's going to take you right up that staircase and right off the other edge.
Yes.
So you're going to walk all the way up there and just kind of, yeah. Oh, good luck anyway. Yeah.
This
What's
one goes.
going on
So the
here?
other one was about propaganda about, crossing the crosswalk slowly because the cars are coming, right?
Yeah.
Which blind people cannot see.
Yes.
This one is another sign that is just blatantly blocking where they're going to be walking face first.
Oh, yeah,
They're going to go face
100%.
first.
So first of all, you're going to go into the rubbish bin here, which is one of those like put recycle on this and that, but it's actually the same.
Yeah, you actually kind of have to thread the needle here.
And then you're going to hit the sign.
Yeah. I guess you
Pretty
do-
ironic when you see the sign, what it says.
Some of the classics we wanted to show is this one that went straight into a
A
manhole.
freaking pothole. Yeah, that's not what you want.
No.
What else have we got here? That goes into a boom pole, and that one just walks you off the bridge.
Like a bridge.
That's not good.
Just some classics.
Yeah.
That one stops at a tree.
Yeah,
Wonk.
and that one you'll hit yourself on that concrete pole.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But so people have been bringing this up because it's become a thing. Oh yeah, some
Oh,
of
it's
them are just
decorative.
used as decoration.
Yeah, yeah.
So imagine a blind person trying to
You'll be moving around like an old video game map,
like
you know?
Pac-Man.
Yeah, well, it'll be just like Pac-Man.
The power pill.
Yeah, dude, that must look so ridiculous and terrible if there is a blind person doing that whole dance.
发现
Yes.
咱们高铁上
This is amazing. We all know Braille, right?
I know Braille.
Yeah, can you read it?
I cannot. Why would I know how to read Braille?
You said you know Braille.
I gotcha.
Yeah. yeah.
I just wanted to point out a comment.
Yeah.
From Totally Not a Chinese Spy. Spoiler alert: they paint them with colors that blind people can't see. Yeah,
why are they a different
why are they
color?
colored?
Yeah, there's no reason for that.
No.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
maybe for partially blind people, who knows. Anyway, now Braille is like a raised
Yes. ...
kind of system. Fantastic if you're blind. And, you know, I remember growing up and everywhere in South Africa, we had it in the park. If there's a plaque or
Yep.
something, it'll be in
Same.
Braille and as well, right? This Braille,
这个盲文好像是没有没法触摸。
it's
Not right.
it's not right. It's printed. It's printed on there. It's how, what are they doing?
That is.
This is so China. It's just like, hey, we have to.
That may even be the most China thing.
It's
I've
one of
ever
the most
seen.
China things. We need to put Braille on the sign. Okay, then let's print it out on there. You know, okay, you know,
它这盲文的意义在哪？
it's so dumb. Particular area for disabled. I mean,
you gotta be disabled to think of that up.
yeah, I know. What the heck?
Wow.
That is ridiculous. But, here are the real world consequences of this. Like, this woman is trying to get to the bank.
这好像是个车子。
This blind woman who somehow is live streaming. She must have a GoPro attached to it, probably
She
to
has
make a
phone-
point.
A phone attached to her.
Oh, okay. No, she has.
She's holding a phone for other reasons.
Yeah, she has her phone and she has something attached around her neck with the camera.
Looks like another phone to me.
Okay, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. She's filming this,
Yes.
and she keeps bumping into stuff because people are parking on top of the raised blind walk. What do
Yeah,
you
when
call
it's
it?
not leading into like a hole.
By the way, it might be a blessing that she's blind if that's what she has to look at all the time. Is like under construction, horrible, nonsense. You could make up anything in your mind, couldn't you?
She still has to breathe the air.
True, but I mean, you could be like, I'm walking through a marshmallow wonderland.
Yes, fair enough.
Anyway, all jokes aside, this is horrific. And, I don't see anyone jumping out to help her either.
Blind.
They actually did a campaign, like definitely a fake propaganda campaign where people were like rushing to help blind people, and all the videos came out at the same time.
Yeah, it
So
always does that. Yeah, it's like, remember when they did that thing to have ramps into buses,
Yes.
but there was a pillar in the way, so you could. It's so
Or the
funny.
ramp was like
yes.
Tony Hawk's Pro Ramp.
Yeah, exactly. Pro ramp. Guys, slapaganda time. Now, this is ridiculous what we're about to show you, but it's very important.
I can't believe they're bragging about it.
Yeah. So let's just show it and then we'll explain what it is.
Remember this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This happened last year, was it? Earlier this year.
A while back, yeah.
Massive big protest, and the guy set up the projector. Remember, he was very smart. He set it up on a timer, and he got on a plane, and he was actually out of China by the time it went off. And it took them about an hour to figure out where this slogan was coming from, where it was being projected from, because he'd rented a hotel room, and he'd set up a projector facing outside the window. So he was long gone. But the thing is, the authorities, the police, were trying to censor it, and they couldn't until they found the room. Remember, and there's a recording because he set up a hidden camera in there, a recording of them coming in and finding it and shutting it down, and he left a note for them and all that kind of stuff. Remember that?
Yeah, very nice note.
Yeah. So now, of course, China's like, this is not okay.
'Cause
What?
they can't control it quick enough.
So they're like, what can we do to prevent this kind of thing from happening in the future?
Yeah, because this projector was up for like an hour.
Yeah. This is what they've done. They've developed a police projector that can obscure messages. I mean, isn't that the stupidest thing?
Oh my god!
Take a look. There's the guy. He's pointing it at the top of this police projector up there. There's the projector light so that you can now, if this ever happens again, they can just censor whatever's projected on the wall. I just want to go back to that so we
that
can see it.
Is crazy.
So it like projects either a
censored thing.
pixelation of layer or another obscuring layer. You see how they've done a little test there. They've done a projector from someone, and then they just like, you can see them. They're like, we can cover this up now. Look at that. Aren't we smart?
Can I just pause it?
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I get that China's going to do something like this. That's just what they are. They can't. They don't have the First Amendment, right?
No.
You can't speak your opinion. You get punished for that. So I don't support it, but I get why a country like North Korea does stuff like that, right? Because they have to control the narrative at all times. What I don't get is why they made videos to promote it and then release them to the public as if this is a good thing, so that the public can go, yes, these bad guys will never project something again. We can stop them with censored projectors. Why would people think that's good?
Well, again, I think it's just another form of control because they're saying, hey, if you try something like this, now we can counter it.
Yeah, so it's less of a PR thing, more of like
It's a warning.
don't even try.
It's just a warning.
Yeah.
But that is, again, one of the most China things ever. They have to censor things. Yeah, it is. Where is that? It really is. They're going to do that again.
Oh,
dude.
Must be nice to live in a real
the
country.
Future... That is...
It really must.
The future protesters are going to make a big red one or something. But they can
No,
probably swap the colors.
this is the thing. This will obscure anything because you're projecting it on top of a projection.
Oh, you're right.
Projecting it, and it's all like they're specifically look. It's specifically designed to obscure.
No, what I
whatever's
was
there.
thinking is if someone had painted something on
Oh,
there,
yeah, yeah.
in that case, it probably would be fine. It'd probably come through.
Well, this is the thing. Chinese people are very smart.
Yeah.
Okay. And very good at figuring out ways to beat the system. So I'm telling you, the next protest will be something even better.
This is crazy.
Right now, there's some smart dude sitting there who's thinking of a way to bypass this kind of thing next time. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well,
look at that ridiculous. It has to be all like a police thing with flashing lights and stuff. They have to make a big hoo-ha out of it.
That's crazy.
It's pathetic.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Soft power, guys. This is where we talk about how China is trying to change your mind. Now, this is the main segment of the show. And what's this? This is the whole tariffs, right?
No.
What is this?
This is the trade surplus.
Okay, the trade surplus.
So this is what you may be seeing in a feed right now. Right?
Yes.
This is all over the place. You got, the tariffs didn't work. China's resilient. Look, they're exporting more because the tariffs are supposed to kind of hurt the trade for China and stuff.
Yeah.
So what a trade surplus is it means that you export more than you import. It really shows the signs of a healthy economy.
Yeah.
So the mainstream media, everyone's kind of running with this. They're like, yo, look at how China is really kind of contorting itself to be able to stay resilient in these dark times.
Yeah, it's a glazing thing to say, look, China's doing great.
Yes. So
can't keep the big dragon down.
Yeah. So in reality, what's actually really interesting about this is the exact opposite of what's been happening. You just have to look into the details. Okay?
Yes. Yeah, we'll explain a little more.
So what happened is the exports are more than the imports, right?
Yes.
But what happened is that the tariffs from the U.S. actually worked, and China had all this stuff that they tried to sell to the U.S.
Yes.
Right. They couldn't because it's not affordable anymore, or there's blockages, right?
Yeah.
So they say.
Well, I mean, I found lots of situations where I would not want to buy something because, and I'm not just saying from China, I buy a lot of stuff from Japan and things like that, and because of tariffs, now the shipping costs just as much as the item, so I'm not going to buy it.
Gotcha.
Or
So-
the import duties or whatever.
So from the China perspective, they have zillions of dollars of stuff that they can't sell to the richest and best market in the world, which is the U.S.
Sure.
So they go, what's our next option? Let's go dump it all on Europe.
Yeah.
So they dump all this stuff on Europe, and the trade surplus goes through the roof. So everyone goes, wow, look at China found other places to sell to. You know what they're not talking about?
What?
They had to sell in Europe. They had to lower their prices so much. They couldn't rip off American consumers anymore.
Well, that's the thing. America's got a lot of buying power where
Yeah.
Europe does not.
So they could take a dollar item and sell it for $20 to an American.
Yes.
But an analogy would be like maybe they take that dollar item and they try to sell it for $20 in Europe, and Europeans are like, nah, and they buy it for $4. Right?
Yeah.
Eventually, they adjust the prices and it works, right?
Yeah, because they have to
Eventually,
drop their prices lower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why you see this trade surplus growth. The
Yeah.
issue is the reality is that the people making the products in China and exporting it are all taking a loss.
Yeah.
Because the government's saying, yo, dump everything, get rid of everything. It makes the graph look good, but they're not making profits anymore.
Yeah.
So they basically effectively shot themselves in the foot because they get to dump all this stuff, but they're not making any profit. And then what happened is it triggered the ire of people in the EU.
Right.
Because they go, crap. Now all these local European companies, our domestic companies, have to lower their prices to match the low-priced Chinese goods, right?
Yeah.
So then they go, we need to put tariffs on China, right?
Sure.
Kind of like what the U.S. did. So this has been ultimately a very bad long-term thing for China.
Yeah.
It's just good short-term news.
I think a quick little analogy is if you've got two lemonade stands, okay, and it costs, say, $1 per cup that you sell, okay, and everybody's buying the same amount, then this lemonade stand still costs them $1 to make it, but now they have to sell it at like 20 cents. And they're going to sell a lot more than that person. So then everyone's going to say, look how successful that business is. They've sold 100 lemonades. They've only sold 20.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the 100 lemonades that were sold now have cost the actual seller.
Well, it actually gets worse.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy. It gets worse. Because what happened is you triggered the ire of the U.S. already, who put tariffs on you
Sure.
for dumping your garbage.
Sure.
You trigger the ire of the EU now for doing the same thing. And so now you have to start thinking inward. You go, okay, well, hey, at least we have our domestic economy, right?
Sure.
Nobody in China is buying anything right now.
Yeah.
It's slowed down astronomically. And so people don't want to spend money. So you have domestic companies in China that are not making profits. In fact, it looks like over 50% of companies in China are making losses right now.
Well, I mean, nobody in China is buying right now because of the real estate market is looking very shaky and has been
Yes.
for a while now.
Yes.
So when you're not sure what's happening with your house and your investments in your housing properties that you have, you're not going to go out and buy expensive
No,
items.
exactly. This is called a deflation spiral.
Yeah.
So everyone's heard of inflation when everything gets expensive, right?
Yeah.
So deflation settles in. Prices in the economy are falling. Everyone goes, everything's cheap. It's a good deal. But they're still not buying anything because they don't really have the buying power or the confidence, like you said,
Sure.
to invest in more stuff.
Yeah.
So what happens is companies make less money. People get used to seeing those low prices so that when they do want to buy something, right, they're not going to buy it if it goes up after that.
Yeah.
So you're kind of permanent. It's called the deflationary spiral. It's like a toilet bowl, right?
Yeah.
You watch people go, I expect this to be cheap, and it has to stay cheap, even if it's not economically viable to stay
Yes.
cheap. So it's actually a really, really bad thing. It's hard to escape that. It's
Yeah.
much worse than inflation. At the end of the day, the trade surplus doesn't mean strength. What it means is weak consumers, right? Overproduction, deflation, dependence on exports, and rising global backlash that's going to punish you for trying to do this dumping.
That's why it's always important to dig in. When you see all
Yeah.
these glazing articles coming out all the time, oh, China's trade. When you look into it, it's not a positive thing. You know,
It's not.
It's absolutely not. Anyway, let's talk about some other crazy things which are indicative of what's going on in
You
China.
think? Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's take a look. This is in, the other day again. What is it? Today's the 12th, so 6 days ago.
Yep.
Cars exploding. I wonder why. Could it be because they're fancy Chinese EVs, maybe? And that's what they do? Guarantee it. Okay, so when we were putting together our media pack, we were like, there's something going on here. Because, yeah, we show you fires every other week here on the show. It's kind of normal, right? But all of a sudden, we're seeing a lot of big fires and factory fires, and a lot of them on the same day.
Yeah.
So we wanted to show you guys, and we've got a lot of insight into what's going on there. Okay, this is a Bank of China building.
Well, it's in that building, at least rumored.
Yeah.
This is a fireworks thing, fireworks depot or something in Yunnan.
Yeah. So these are the normal fires that you will see all around China that are usually due to lack of safety regulations and so on. That's kind of normal. Weekly, something or other gets set ablaze.
For sure.
Okay.
This one just looked kind of spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fireworks factory. Look at all the fireworks going off. You know, you get a show.
It's celebratory and destructive.
It really is. It's kind of cool, actually. You sit there and munch popcorn or something and watch the show.
Yeah.
Free fireworks show. This, on the other hand, wasn't very nice. This is in Guangdong, in Shantou. We had a fire in a residential building which actually had fatalities attached to it, unfortunately. 12 people, actually.
Yeah. Which we don't show, so relax.
No, of course not. And this one is very interesting. So this one happened on the 9th, and I've seen this from various sources, okay? And it's not fake.
Just play it. It's mad long.
This was apparently a beer factory, but what happened was it was right next to a middle school, okay? And there was this massive fire. But the interesting thing about this big fire is not that it's next to a middle school or whatever. Obviously, they evacuated all the kids and everything.
Yeah, that's why all the parents are concerned, obviously.
What's interesting is the lack of an official report about it. And people are speculating that it hasn't been reported, and a lot of these fires, in fact, all of them haven't been officially reported from what we can tell, other than the Shantou one, is because of the Hong Kong fire that we covered, 2 weeks ago? Remember that massive thing? Because everybody was going on about, like, listen, now that China's taken over Hong Kong, safety standards have gone down, corruption is on the rise, and that's why people are burning to death inside their houses. And so mainland China's like, no, it's because you use bamboo, right? Well, it's kind of hard to back up that, like, no, when all of these fires, these big fires are happening in mainland China right now. Because it's indicative. It's like, yeah, it happens in mainland China all the time. Of course it's going to happen in Hong Kong. So I think that they don't want to put out these official reports because it makes them look bad.
Yeah.
They're suppressing news about it.
That could make sense.
That's my educated guess on this. Yeah. But yes, this does go on for quite a while. You were not joking.
That's why I didn't want you to pause it.
Okay, well, at least I know. I feel like I saw that clip.
I think I did too. compilation that you sent over might have a repeat.
Yes, it's entirely possible.
You could scroll through if you really wanted to.
No, it's okay. I'm enjoying it.
Some of these are novel.
I'm enjoying seeing the destruction to the environment, obviously. Look at all that lovely smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I'm being sarcastic.
And all that wasted beer.
That's terrible. And it's
Probably-
Friday.
Probably really bad. Really, really bad beer.
I don't know if I've had Lishan beer. I don't know if I've had
I
it.
don't think I have either.
Yeah,
We might have.
yeah.
You never know. Probably not.
There's what is that other one? Li Chuan beer or something?
Something like that.
That's pretty good. I mean, it's okay. Now this is another on the same day, strangely enough, in Inner Mongolia in Hohhot, a barbecue restaurant caught fire.
Well, it led to this.
Yeah, and it ended up burning a bunch of residential stuff too. And there was apparently one fatality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of big fires there.
it's interesting that it's on the same day. I don't know.
Well,
Everything happens in like a cluster.
What's more interesting to me is the ones coming up that are all kind of in the same day in the same area and they're factory related.
Yes, because that's what ties into what we were trying to talk about.
Yeah,
here.
so this was on the 11th. This is a massive
Yesterday.
fire. Yeah, at a factory district in Longnan, Jiangxi. So this isn't one factory. It's like a whole. It's like a whole massive, and it's called an enterprise in Chinese.
Yes.
And there's many companies that have factories in here, and the whole
Yes.
thing went up.
So, when the economy slows, like we talked about this trade surplus, you got a lot of these factories that have been producing cheap goods. They cannot afford to pay their staff anymore. They cannot afford to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
So a lot of factory bosses actually set their factories on fire
Yeah.
to claim insurance.
Or
it's like a way
employees.
out.
Employees
or
that
the
don't get
employees that are not being paid, disgruntled employees set them on fire. So that's our guess as to why there's a sudden uptick once again in factory fires, because you normally wouldn't see that.
I think
Not all at the same time, anyway.
you look at those trade surplus graphs and all the positive media surrounding it, and you start to feel a little skeptical. You're like, then why is all this stuff happening? You look into it. Well, you don't have long-term manufacturing stability anymore.
No.
Most likely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're losing your biggest customers.
Yeah. So this is that big factory fire. Well, yeah. A lot of cheap goods on fire.
That's for sure.
Now where am I going to get my little cable from Amazon or whatever?
Yeah, or whatever. A little plushy toy
Yeah.
or
What a pity.
Christmas ornaments. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. There'll be something like that.
Anyway, this is a big one. This is a big driver of the economy in this area. So
Mhm.
that's a massive hit.
So yeah, I would probably put that down to arson, personally.
Yeah.
This is still the same one.
Again, we have no idea, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that kind of point towards that.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I'm saying it's my educated
Maybe
guess.
gut instinct. Yeah.
And considering we've covered this a lot, I'd say it's probably correct.
Yeah. Well, especially with some of those guys like the 8 yuan hero.
By the way, this is here's another one. Okay, completely different area, guys. This is in Hebei. Okay, and this is another factory warehouse that just went up yesterday. Same day. Isn't that weird?
It was. Yeah.
So
Couldn't find anything about this, by the way. It's like this lone isolated clip. There's no information about it.
It's so difficult to track it down. But the fact that you've got two potentially on the same day, also big factory fires, is so sus. By the way, did you know that Canon is pulled out of China now?
Yeah, did they?
You know Canon, the camera
Oh,
manufacturer?
not like the.
Yeah, not that one.
Oh, okay.
And a couple of other Japanese companies are pulling out, and I think it's obviously got to do with all the anti-Japanese sentiment and all that sort of thing. And maybe they're just not pulling a profit anymore. And it's a massive loss for China because all of the employees are heartbroken.
I bet, yeah.
They've had such a good job, and Canon compensated every single employee like a huge amount, like 200,000 RMB or something.
Wow.
Gave them full packages and compensation. Everyone who worked for them is praising them, you know, and their facilities were high tech and top notch and looked after.
So the
everyone.
factory workers that worked for a Japanese company got compensated. Factory workers here, they don't get paid, and then things go ablaze.
Exactly. Did you include the shut down shoe factory as well in here?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we just want to show you that, you know, the repercussions of this, of the whole trade surplus is now on display. So this is a factory fire, okay, for prepaid meals, which happened today.
Yeah, pre-prepared.
Now I see, like when
Paid.
pre-prepared. Yes, prepaid meals. You pay ahead and get your meal later.
It's about also in Hebei, the same place that you just
Isn't
saw
it
that
weird?
was- yeah.
Also, and this is today. Now, this is the big Dongguan shoe factory, which has shut down. This was a massive, big shoe factory.
One of the biggest, right?
Yeah, the biggest, I think.
Oh.
Had its own hospital in there. You know, it had all its own facilities. All the worker dormitories are on site. That is now shut down, and you can see that it's abandoned. And again, this is just another example of what's actually happening on the ground. And remember last week we covered this? Let me pause this. Go back. I want to go back to that frame. Last week we said we'd give you an update of this electronics factory in Shenzhen. Yishiling or something. I can't remember the exact name.
There's some titles in.
Yeah. Either way, it's still ongoing. Remember we said we'd give you guys an update. It's ongoing, but now apparently the police are beating up the workers and they've been abducting them. And I wanted to point out again, see they've got their physical censorship things up again. So when they put up a physical censorship, you know something bad's going on, you know? And they're obviously got their signs to say like disperse or whatever the case. But yeah, you got people that are just passing out and whatever. Yeah. I'll get us out of here so you can read the subtitles. Says police are beating people. Release them, release them. They're talking about the ones that have been arrested. And it's kind of crazy. These people, remember the reason that these guys are protesting is because they have 5-day work weeks now instead of like 6 or 7-day work weeks, and they're not allowed to work overtime anymore.
This is the
Yili Sheng. Yeah.
Resist disguised layoffs.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, okay. So this absolutely coincides with this trade surplus thing, exactly like you explained earlier, because they've had to lower their prices in order to dump on the EU market. They're not making a profit. And in fact, remember, the reason that they cut down on the hours for these workers is, they said, due to poor sales. Okay, this is a separate incident we'll talk about. But think about it. If you're a factory boss and your government's like, okay, we can't sell your cheap earphones or whatever to America anymore because of tariffs. You're not going to make it. Dump it on the EU market and just drop the price. Okay, now where are your profits to pay your workers? They're not there anymore. So what do? You tell your workers, sorry, we're going to have to cut back on work days and you're not allowed to work overtime anymore.
Yeah, it could be a knock-on thing too. Like maybe that factory doesn't have a direct effect from the tariffs or whatever, but the other one you own does, that funds that one and invests in that one, and the whole area starts to decline, right?
Correct. Well, I mean, just down the road, also in Shenzhen, because this is another one. This is a labor dispute at an optics factory. So optics, they'll make lenses or, for binoculars or glasses or whatever. And they've also been laid off without compensation. So you're seeing a lot of this. Look at the amount of workers walking down there. It's not small stuff.
No.
So, when they're saying like, oh, look at the trade surplus, it's amazing. Then why are there so many wage disputes, so many people being laid off? Why are there empty factories? And why are they setting all the factories on fire?
Like I said, it's amazing when you look at it at first. Then you have to look at everything else. Yeah. I had to learn about it. And I think I'm trying to say I'm not an expert at this stuff.
Yeah.
But what I did do is it caused me to be skeptical and look into what is actually happening here, because it's kind of different than what I'm seeing.
Yes.
It's different than the factory fires. Doesn't tell me, oh, there's a trade surplus and China's not in any trouble.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't tell me China's winning this whole thing when I see the opposite on video or pictures, right?
Yeah.
So then I start to look into it, and I actually read articles from economists and things like that who all know this is actually a negative thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Right, guys, we have to remind you that, hey, listen, Christmas is around the corner. If you want to get a gift, I think this is a fantastic one. If you ever wanted to have a pink neon-soaked design that's striking and awesome and has meaning behind it,
very cool.
This is one of them. Let's take a look. And I won't pause it now. Take a look, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Did you put the frame in? I'm going to pause just in
Yeah, you
case.
can pause there. That's okay.
Okay, the poison beauty or chome, which means conceited or vain. You know, it's the kind of person. It will, I guess, translate to stinky beauty or foul beauty, like foul smelling beauty.
yeah.
You know, like okay. But basically, this is what you call somebody who's very beautiful or pretty on the outside, but ugly on the inside. That type of thing, right? So it's got a cool statement behind it, and it's a super cool design. I love it. It's very sort of 80s, skateboard, cyberpunk kind of vibe going on to it. I love the sort of neon pink soaked thing.
It's also a commentary. It's just like this one that I'm wearing was a commentary on phone addiction.
Yes.
This one that we're selling now, this Poison Beauty, limited, very limited, by the way. Very beautiful design. I love this one. Ordered some myself, actually.
Yep. I ordered 3.
Nice. This Poison Beauty one, this is to bring awareness about the whole idea that everything's fake now, right? AI filters, face filters, the
Instagram culture,
China putting LED buildings on wastelands and saying that they're the future. All of this stuff, it's to combat or to show some transparency, right?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe this. Is it's a commentary on fakeness of modern internet society, and like you said, the face filters and Instagram and
everything,
all these influencers and
everything.
Everything. Yeah. So it's a fantastic conversation starter. I mean, not only is it a very cool design that you could just wear as a cool design, I think, like if you're ever anywhere, people might strike up a conversation about it. I've done that before. Have you ever struck up a conversation because of a t-shirt before?
Yeah.
Can you give me an example?
I was just a place that I had been, right? And I had been there like a year prior.
Right.
And so I said, I've been there. How was it? And we talked about, how it was. It was good.
I was at, I can't remember where it was, some public area. And there was a dude wearing a, Run DMC. Their logo is kind of quite distinctive. But it said Run CMD, and then it had like C:\\\. And I was like, that's awesome. I was like, that's awesome, man. I love the t-shirt. We got talking about computers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So this is the kind of thing that I think you can, wear to a family event or something and get the conversation going.
Or anywhere.
About your annoying niece who's now a TikTok influencer who dances on the table at the restaurant.
Right. Go to thechinashow.threadless.com. to pick up your Poison Beauty. thechinashow.threadless.com. There's links below as well.
Yes, fantastic.
Get it before it's gone. It'll be gone soon.
Yeah, this is limited and it won't come back. We've also got our usual merch, and we've also got the Good Times graffiti collection.
That's right.
Lots of stuff to check out. All right, Beyond the Great Firewall, where we talk about what's happening on the Chinese internet. What do we got this time? You made this, right?
Yes. So there was a ping pong tournament in Chengdu, in Sichuan.
Yeah.
Sichuan's getting so much press right now.
Certainly.
Bunch of influencers and stuff going there too. Anyway, those who support Japan should all die. This was something that was shouted in the event in China against Japan. Because what it was, there's a Chinese guy from Hong Kong guy.
Yeah.
Facing off a Japanese guy.
Yeah.
And this wasn't said in necessary support of the Hong Kong guy. This is just an anti-Japan.
It's got nothing to do with the Hong Kong guy. Like he's innocent in all this.
It just sucks that he is the face of one face.
Here's the thing, though. Like you should be able to go to an international sporting event without death threats being shouted at you, and like nationally endorsed death threats where nothing happens to the people that shout them. Yeah. And worse is the woman who shouted this thing out. Everybody cheered. I mean, if you listen, and we'll turn up the volume so
those who support Japanese should all die.
Yeah, she said those who support Japanese should all die. Let's listen. Okay, I'll just put this up here for another second. I love that design. Here we go. Listen to her. Here she comes.
Japanese guy didn't speak Chinese.
I'm pretty sure that he can understand.
Why?
Why not? If you're going to go to China, you wouldn't know a few things.
They go to hundreds of countries for events. They
It's
go
kind of like-
learn Bulgarian.
I don't know, man. Because it's such a close neighbor. It's kind of like in America, a lot of people can speak Spanish. I know a lot of Japanese people can understand some basic Chinese. It's the same written language almost.
Yeah, for sure. But spoken, I doubt it. Anyway, that's a different conversation. 11-3, a game to Japan. Japan won.
So Japan won. So, I mean, that's some big screw you energy over there. Did Did he put his hand to his ear? He's like, what are you going to say now? I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure he understood.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. He's like, oh, what are you going to say about that now?
So
What's that? What did you say about all Japanese people should die? I just kicked your ass.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
It is. Okay, of course we have the obligatory tofu drinks going on. This is a completely other one. Cambridgeshire.
你看，现在这个钢筋运都歪楼弯曲的，这个水泥是基本上手一抠就掉的，这是个模的。
Look, the rebar's even bent.
这个住点人了。现在这种情况，如果夸大老百姓的生命安全财产，哪个来维护怎么办？
That's just terrifying. Look how they've like put up these temporary supports in order to try and keep things. Dude, at that point, what can you do other than just knock the whole place down and start over?
I don't know.
That's probably what they want because it can generate revenue again.
I don't know.
This was going around. Netizens were posting there's a bridge and the bridge support, you know, the railing on the side is just made out of styrofoam. Yeah. And look, I understand that styrofoam is used in some construction. But probably not your bridge rail that's like supposed to support people from falling into the river.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, you probably don't want it to be made out of styrofoam. I'm just saying, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah, we could be wildly wrong. Maybe it's a great building material.
Yes.
Clearly not.
And this
clearly not.
No, take a look at these poor guys in rural China. They have to like use their bodies to bend this rather than it being pre-bent or using.
Is it usually pre-bent?
Yeah, definitely. Or there's machines to do this. This is wildly dangerous to do this.
Okay.
Oh, guys, you missed such a fantastic show on Monday. We've got to show you this. It literally looks like hell.
It does. That looks like hell. You're the top 0.02. You're basically our top fan.
What is the song even? Does it go like? By the way, can anybody explain to me what that pile of absolute garbage is?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Those trees are like Nightmare Before Christmas.
What's going on? Cigarette butts and bricks on your corn.
These are the neighborhoods where people live.
Happiness and this place don't go hand in hand, if you ask me.
You see, here we are. You'll head out of the neighborhood, and this is where you end up in the like commercial district, where you can go shopping for your stuff.
What are you gonna buy here? Dirt?
Well, no, I mean like you could buy your vegetables you're gonna cook for the day.
Yeah, sure.
You can buy. Oh, the joke.
Oh, there's a joke. What?
Play it.
Okay. I'll play it. Let's do it.
Yeah, you can buy dirt. That's the joke. Your pause game today is maybe the worst it's ever been.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad in the pause game. Anyway, guys, the whole point of that is we had a really interesting show on Monday where we do these things, what China really looks like, these episodes from time to time, where we take basically the China's Google Street View equivalent, the Baidu Street View, and we go just drop in at random places in China and take a look on the roads and see what's actually
and then
there.
We decode it for you.
Yeah.
Say, oh, this means that. Maybe this sign means this. Oh, this is set up like this because of this.
Yeah.
It's a kind of honest way to look at how things really look like in China outside the propaganda.
Yeah, look, we just happened to choose randomly rather depressing looking areas, I gotta say.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's kind of just why, because it looks like
Yeah, of course. I'm just saying. It was a very interesting episode. So, I mean, if you guys have the means, we'd love to see you over for Xiaobanhou, which is our VIP show every Monday. And
you get access to all the episodes.
Oh, it's super fun. A lot of interaction. You get a Chinese name if you enter. We got a Wheel of Fortune.
Yep.
All this kind of stuff. We'd love to see you there at patreon.com/ADV podcasts. Obviously, only if you have the means.
But it is the best way to support us.
So, because you said I ruined the joke, I'll play it again. What are you going to buy here? Dirt?
Well, no, I mean, like you could buy your vegetables you're going to cook for the day.
Yeah, sure.
You can buy dirt.
There you go. I got it this time. All right, cool. So that's it, guys. Please, if you'd love to go there. It's
not it for the show.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We're still got material.
Yeah, this is the best way to support us is over on Xiaobanhou. Yeah, we still have more stuff to get into, so let's do it. It's
Just
Worldview.
sound like you were rapping.
No. The Worldview, we talk about everything in the world, specifically with regards to China.
Mexico hitting China pretty good. 50%, up to 50% tariffs on Chinese goods. Well, here's the deal. China is trying to use Mexico for many, many reasons because it's trying to get past the Trump tariffs that America put on China. So it goes, if we make our stuff right there, we can ship it in from Mexico.
Yeah, well, they don't make it. They'll just pretend.
No, they'll have factories. They'll have factories that they run.
Yeah, but they
right?
just ship it to
But
the
they will-
factory and then they
yes,
ship
yeah.
it from the
Let's
factory.
be honest.
Yeah,
They're just gonna
they they do that
high-end
already.
stuff. Yeah, for sure.
They have, remember, sorry to interrupt you, but remember they have like warehouses in Korea, South Korea, and they'll ship like a fully assembled refrigerator from China into there, and then they stamp like a made in Korea label on it, and then they ship it to like the US as a Korean product to avoid tariffs. Remember they were caught out doing that type of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that was mattresses.
No,
sorry.
yeah, for sure. So this is a way of preventing that. I'm assuming Mexico's cooperating with the U.S. to try and stop that kind of situation.
Yeah, because
It
I mean,
also helps Mexico, right?
Yeah.
They can make stuff too.
if they take all these Chinese EVs, it'll just burn down.
Yeah, it's
You know
true.
what I mean? It's hot
Mexico-
enough in Mexico as it is.
True. Mexico needs to be competitive on its own.
Yeah.
It does not need to be supplanted by China, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. What is it? What is a car again? A Camino? Or is that a street?
Camino is a road.
Camino de los Muertos. If these things are driving around,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Anyway, let's move
Carro.
on. Yeah. Okay.
Pax
car.
Silica.
Yeah, what is this?
Pax Silica is an initiative.
Sounds like a movie name from like the 90s.
That
Pax
sounds,
Silica.
sounds like a cool action film.
Yeah, it is. It's like he found their secret. Now he's
Yes.
pissed.
Pax Silica
Yeah.
is a coalition of countries.
Mm.
And I think I can read it from here. You got Japan,
Yeah.
Korea, Singapore, the Netherlands, the UK, Israel, UAE, and Australia that all today signed onto Pax Silica. And what this is it's a way to counter China's Belt and Road Initiative, shore up more rare earths,
Yeah.
and compete with them in terms of like AI and stuff. Actually, there's a good quote on the next slide.
Okay.
So this was all signed out with some participating countries. Might be some more in the future. You can read this.
It's an industrial policy for an economic security coalition, and it's a game changer because there is no grouping today where we can get together to talk about the AI economy and how we compete with China in AI. Helberg said, by aligning our economic security approaches, we can start to have cohesion to basically block China's Belt and Road Initiative, which is really designed to magnify its export-led model, by denying China the ability to buy ports, major highways, transportation, and logistics corridors.
That's right. So basically, this stops
Sounds good.
China's Belt and Road Initiative.
Bait
because
and rob.
Bait and Rob Initiative is actually just China's method of
Buying up ports
selling
and
stuff
stuff,
and
yeah.
trying to control the world. Right?
Yes.
So what happened here? You told me about this.
Yeah. Well, okay. They're doing these like military exercises around Japan,
Russia and China.
and Chinese locked radar onto Japanese jets, which is bad. If you lock a radar on, that means it's the same as if I were to point a gun at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm not pulling the trigger,
Sure.
but it's just as bad.
Sure.
You're locked on, it means you're ready to fire.
Right.
And you don't do that. That's a massively aggressive move. But China's just pushing and pushing and pushing because they want something to happen because they suck and they're aggressive.
Mhm.
But that's what happened. And of course, Japan's like, that's not okay, bro. And they're like, oh, yeah? Well, since ancient times, something like that.
Right.
They'll say some nonsense. But yeah, we had the US and the Japanese forces doing joint exercises as well, kind of to counter that, which is great.
Yeah, I think it's good to show, or I think it's good for the U.S. to show their, or renew their bond with being allies with Japan. It's going to be very important.
Yeah,
in
isn't
the
that
future.
cool? It's like past enemies are now allies together.
It is
friends.
interesting. It is interesting.
Yes.
You always have to have a war for that to happen, by the way. Did you ever notice that?
Yep.
Like, if you were,
It changes the status quo.
it changes everything. And it is bizarre to see American planes with the Japanese flag on the
Yeah.
other planes cooperating, but it's great.
And the Japanese are flying American planes.
Yeah, it's great.
It is. It's
Great thing.
fantastic. You got to stand up to the bully, which is China. Lock it on their radar. What's this?
Well, China is not very happy about all this stuff. So, of course, you get your nationalists that are ripping down American flags. China's trying to play this funny game in English right now where they're telling the rest of the world that, like, oh, we're going to be close with America. America's good.
Yeah.
And then in China, they're like stoked. You should see some of the textbooks in Heilongjiang. Remember that textbook? I don't know. if I showed this to you. But they're like going through how America's super evil and they're trying to subvert us and everything. They're really amping up the anti-America stuff. But then their foreign propaganda.
Oh, they're like,
press,
we're friends.
oh, we're friends.
We can cooperate and do trade. Meanwhile,
They're
they're like kill all Americans in school.
Yeah, and Japan.
Yep,
Anyway.
and Japan, obviously, that's the biggest one. So now we wanted to give a shout out to a channel called Free China, and the reason is, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the mega embassy, a Chinese embassy in the UK, seems like it's going to go ahead, right? Which is ridiculous. Everybody doesn't want it to go ahead. The Chinese government has basically proposed to buy out the old Royal Mint, okay? And it's not like a mint you can chew. It's where they used to make coins, I guess. Yep. But it's right on top of fiber optic cables that all of the financial data for the UK, which, by the way, that's the whole UK economy is based on financial stuff, right? It all runs underneath that. So that means the Chinese embassy will be sitting on top of the data cables where they can very easily find a way to tap into that. Let's be honest. It's dumb. I mean, on top of that, in the plans for the embassy, they've got these like redacted rooms, these like torture rooms or whatever they are down there, and they won't let the UK government know what they're planning to do there. And everybody's up in arms and they're protesting. We don't want this Chinese mega embassy in the middle of London. Right. And the UK government's like, oh, I think we're just going to go ahead with this, even though everyone's like, no. It's ridiculous. So, the London Council rejects new Chinese embassy amid resident safety fears. Okay. People living in near the Tower of London site said largest diplomatic base in UK would put lives at risk. What's happening at the moment is there's a group of residents that live right there. Clip. It's in the clip? Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, I didn't know what you'd put in here. Oh, it's very silent.
No, it's just to show like the residents showing this. I thought you'd talk over it.
Okay. So we want you to go over to Free China's channel if you get the chance to hear what's happening.
Yeah. @free_China.
Yeah. So basically what's going on is there's a group of residents that are having a petition and a big fundraiser and that type of thing to try and legally put a halt to the progress of the mega embassy. So if this is something you feel like you're interested in checking out, please go to Free China's channel and go watch his video about it. We'd appreciate it.
What's this?
Oh, this is our sticker giveaway. You know.
Then play it.
Fine, I will. Okay.
It's the China Show sticker giveaway, where we give away our QR code stickers. You get 5.
Oh, who's going to win this time?
Who's going to win today? Well, let's see. That wheel's out of control.
Oh, yeah.
Evil me.
Congratulations to Evil Me.
Yes.
Somebody will be contacting you and sending you some stickers.
Yes.
It's fantastic. And please feel free to put them wherever you like. You can stick them on your water bottle, just like I stick my Obsolete Futures sticker, which is my retro tech channel, which you can check out if you really want to. But yeah, wherever you like. Take some photos, send it to the Discord. Only if you want to. You can just keep them for yourself, whatever. It's up to you.
Whatever you want.
Yep. But hopefully you enjoy them.
That's right.
And congratulations. And now, guys, it is time for Yamcha, which is our Q&A segment of the show.
Someone said, no, I was so close. How would you know?
Yeah, how do you even know?
Yeah.
So this is where we answer your questions, you question our answers. It's Friday, guys. It's time to relax. It's time to loosen the tie. If you're not watching us live or on the weekend, we bid you farewell. Stay awesome. For the rest of us,